That was my first scout as a buff. Just sitting over there sweating. Great win. Really proud of our guys' resolve. To just stay in it, knowing it's a game of runs, knowing that the game was going at our tempo. Most importantly, we felt like we did a pretty good job dictating pace. When they went on their 10-0 run, we were up 18 or 19. I thought we lost control of that tempo, but we regathered ourselves and responded and made plays down the stretch on both ends. And again, you find a way to win in league play, and you protect home court in league play against a program, a coach, and a team, and players that we have great respect for. The nation has great respect for. A perennial A-10 power. Really good win for our group. Really good win for our program, the city of Fairfax.
Questions for the student athletes?
Schwartz, what was the focus coming out of halftime against that matchup zone? You got open a couple times. Basically, you guys shot them out of it. What were the adjustments?
Yeah, just being ready to shoot. Like I said, I'm gonna say this every time. Like we have so many shooters and so many weapons. Can't take away everybody. Cooper shooting really well tonight. We're moving the ball, a lot of assists, and so we were just focused on playing together.
David, how important was it that early stretch where you guys kept forcing turnovers, kept getting points off of those turnovers, and just how it eased to kind of make you guys feel not necessarily feel comfortable, but to have a cushion to be able to get off to that good start?
I mean, it was big. Like we came in locked in on defense to start the game and just chipping away, getting stops, and that kind of brought us energy. We punched them in the mouth first and we jumped ball. So, I mean, it was big for us.
Schwartz, you played a lot of different opponents, played in a good conference, just have a lot of experience. Can you talk about Josh Aduro in comparison to all the people that you played with before?
Man, he's incredible. When he gets the ball, he's so patient down there. He can pick apart the defense on the drive, on his jump shot, on the pass. It's a joy to play with him. I know that teams are starting to double him, so I can lift up to my spot and get open for open threes. And they can't take it all away.
Davon, my bad. You obviously had a big night tonight, shooting the basketball, 4 threes in the second half. You guys went on the 15-0 run there after they got that first live game. What was kind of the adjustment kind of in the second half as far as what you guys were doing offensively, if anything, and confidence-wise, for you, having a game like this going forward, how can you kind of build off of this?
I mean, really, we just kept doing what we was doing. I was feeding off track with Deshaun and Tigger's energy. They was making shots, so I just fed off that, and that's how my shots started to fall.
For either of you guys, just what have the last 5 days been like, and have you been kind of happy with what seems like a fairly business-like approach that you guys have had for this little stretch?
It's been a lot of film, being locked in, working on the next opponent. I know we had 3 games in 5 days, so just a lot of film and being locked in on what the other team has to bring.
Yeah, we were ready for these type of stretches. We played in South Dakota, and we were on the other end of the 3-game spectrum, and I think that prepared us for what we had coming forward.
Coach, talk about Polite's progression. He had a couple.
We're going to let these guys go first. Yep, it's all right.
Sorry.
No worries. So they can go back and rehab, get ready for the next one.
Gotcha.
Obviously, St. Bonaventure coming in the preseason was picked first in the league, and obviously been kind of in the favorites from the media perspective. Obviously, you guys don't really pay too much mind to that, but kind of having being able to beat a team like that tonight, what did that do to you guys' confidence going forward?
I mean, you put on our clothes just like them, so it's a good win.
Anything else for the student athletes? Thanks, guys.
Yeah, talk about Polite's progression. He had a couple uncharacteristic turnovers there. You took him out for a minute, but you stuck with him down the stretch. And it seems like he's getting meaningful minutes. I know he's been battling with some injuries, but talk about where he's
Yeah,
at.
it's tough. You know, I give him grace. I give him a lot of grace. I've tried to find ways to give our guys grace. Like at GW, I gave the entire team grace. You know, first game in 16 days, fourth game in 40 days. You know, I tried to give Jamal Hartwell grace at GW. He had just been sitting in his room for however many days, and I'm giving Ronnie a lot of grace, and I trust him. He studies film. He works on his game. Ronnie Polite makes 200 threes every single day. He didn't get one up tonight, but you know, he made one last game. And you know, he said it at the end. He said he was surprised I didn't yell at him, and he said I didn't need to. You know, he knew. He knew that I knew. He knew what he did wrong, and he made one of the biggest plays in the game. When we went small there at the end, Josh got his fourth foul. We knew they were going to go right at Ticket with number 21. And he made a great, we call it a white line play. He was on the middle of the court, having Ticket's backside, and he forced a steal, which led to, I feel like maybe a run-out layup, or X's corner three, one of the two. It led to a good play. So they know, every guy, and I hate it, you know, for the guys that aren't playing right now, Otis, you know, TJ, Jamal, Malik, the guys that aren't playing as much, Blake, but, you know, just stay ready. Your opportunity will come, and it's a challenge. You know, one thing about college basketball, when you're not in a rotation, you will have an opportunity at some point. So the message is for the guys that are playing to keep, you know, recalibrating, relocking, refocusing, re-engaging. And the guys who aren't playing, they had a great 3-on-3 game yesterday. They were getting after it and just staying ready, because we will need those guys at some point. So I trust every single guy on this roster.
Yeah, hey coach. You know, the Bonnie shot, 50% from three in the first half. You got him down to only 3 of 13 for 21 from 23% from three in the second half. You know, kind of what was the message at the half? You know, about defending the 3-point line better and making sure you lock down those deadly shooters down there.
Guarding number 1, Dominic Welch. Guarding him. You know, he was a guy. He hadn't been shooting well coming into this game. But that didn't matter. It wasn't about the stats with him. We knew he was a shooter, I think. And I think he only in 8-10 play, I think he's only taken like 10 2-point shots. Maybe we knew he was a shooter no matter what his percentages were. So we didn't do a good job locking into him in the first half. Did a much better job on him in the second half. Well, he still got off, I think, 4. But yeah, they only make 6 a game. You know, they want to get the ball inside. They want to get the ball to the paint and spread out from 3 there. So it was a big thing that's keeping them out of the paint.
Cam, against a team like them, I know they're really fundamental in a lot of ways. And when I look at you guys forcing turnovers, you guys getting second chance points, that sort of thing, it seemed like you guys did a lot of what they do well. And not that you don't do that well normally, but in particular tonight, that seemed like a pretty big deal for you guys.
I mean, they're incredible. They're very mature. They've been around each other for a long time. They know Coach Schmidt like the back of his hand. He knows them like the back of his hand. They know each other. That's what you get. You know, when you get an older team that's been around each other, they run great stuff. They run a lot of stuff. You know, and it's challenging stuff. You know, but I think the turnovers, were some unforced, but I think the tempo. I think they got playing our speed and had some unfortunate turnovers.
Coach, I could hear you telling the players to shoot a lot, and I'm curious. Before the season started, you talked about how all your players could shoot threes, and we're seeing that. So I just kind of want you to talk about that a little bit.
What you don't see is me telling them to shoot. It has led to some block shots and some air balls. I've taken myself for Blake's air ball tonight. Me telling Deshaun to shoot was the reason Bama Seal blocked his shot at the top of the key against GW. Sometimes I get him in trouble telling him to shoot, but I believe that turn down shots lead to turnovers. I've seen it too much in my career. Good shooters who work on your shot every single day, work on your shot all summer, turn down good shots, and often they lead to turnovers. And if we get a chance to shoot a 3-point shot that's worth 50% more than a 2, and much better shot at scoring points than a turnover, I encourage them. Everyone on our team is encouraged to shoot the ball. Malik, we're still working on it. But everyone else is encouraged to shoot it.
When they came storming back, you remained icy, at least on the exterior, you were calm and collected. How important is it for you to maintain that persona? Being the CEO of this team, they follow you.
Yeah, I seen something this morning on SportsCenter's Instagram account that showed, the NFL uses Catapult heart monitoring, and it was Patrick Mahomes' heart rate at the end of that game in the fourth quarter in overtime. It was the lowest on the team, the guys that were playing. And I sent it to Deshaun, I sent it to Coop. We have a saying, early in our season, we have a quote of the week every week, and one of them is, you don't rise to the occasion, fall to the level of your preparation, right? We didn't have to do anything out of this world. We don't have to do anything out of this world to beat any team on our schedule. We just have to play to our standards consistently. And that's fall into the level of our preparation. That's how we prepare every day. So it's take open shots, it's take care of the ball, it's play off 2 feet, it's offer help on defense, it's guard the ball, it's look to box out and rebound with 2 hands. It's the simplicity of that. But on their run, I thought it was more about us getting the game back going the way they played. If it's set versus set, that's not the way we want to play. We want to get this game going up and down. We had a lot of possessions.
Coach, it was kind of even on the turnover battle between the 2 teams, but one thing that you guys did better than them was points off of turnovers. How proud are you of your team tonight to, even when they're, they would maybe have a turnover on the offensive side, get back on defense and, get the job done on that side?
I think, honestly, maybe outside of Texas, I know Chris Beard really encouraged, like he really wants, they yell tuddle in their program when a turnover happens. They really, 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 I think that's a little luck. If it's a steal, if it's a dead ball turnover, if it's a travel, stepped out of bounds, I think that's a little luck how the turnover comes. It's a little luck. They had more offensive rebounds than us, but we had 15 second chance points. That's a little luck. It's a little luck. You don't practice defense after giving up an offensive rebound. You don't practice. You could. We actually have some. We have. You usually don't practice defense after turnovers, but we actually have this season. So maybe I'll give Coach Felton the credit. We're getting better playing defense after we turn the ball over. I say, Coach Felton, let's just not turn the ball over. He says, no, we need to practice defense after turnovers. So I give Dennis Felton the credit for that.
Coach, this is now the 3rd time you've had a win streak of at least 3 games this season. Last 2 times you kind of had a little let down after the win streaks. How do you kind of find the consistency going forward and keep playing at this level?
We told the guys going into Dayton, practices, and in our program there are 4 core values: toughness, competitiveness, work ethic, and humility. And our message to the guys going into Dayton was, you are one of 2 things in life. You're humble or you're about to be. And we've held that message true every single day. The humility is within possessions, half to half, day to day, refocusing, recalibrating, re-engaging on the next task, staying incredibly humble. Because this game, and we know more than anybody, these possession games could go either way. We could have made free throws and beat GW. We could have missed some free throws. We could have lost to Dayton. We lost to JMU by 3. We lose to Washington by 3. We lose to South Dakota State by 4. We lose to GW by 1. Those things, it's things are never as good as they seem. They're never as bad as they seem. It's about staying even keel, staying humble.
Coach, Josh Oduro, the 3-game stretch is super impressive. Just kind of what have you seen of the growth from him? And can you talk a little bit about his injury?
He's been who we always thought he was from day one. A dominant, big. I wouldn't trade him for another big in America. I think he's that good. I think he's an NBA player. And his injury is his knees bother him, and he's working his way back. But he's great. He's selfless. He's humble. He's as good of a leader, a team leader. He's one of our best guys in the classroom. He takes the toughest load academically. He's just the best. He's a great kid.
Yeah, hey Coach, sorry to keep focusing on this 3-game stretch, but in this stretch you've knocked off Dayton, you've knocked off St. Bonaventure, and I know you guys don't really listen to the media noise around those teams, but overall those are considered 2 of the best 3 teams in the A-10. How much does that do for your team's confidence, knowing that you've come off a tough loss to GW and then gone into your next 3 games and knocked off 2 of the arguably better teams in the A10 this year.
They are really good programs and teams and great coaches, but that's the whatever the media thinks or polls, that stuff means nothing. If they are really good, you're right about that. That's a fact. And we go into every game with the same mindset of preparation of just doing what we have to do to win that game. Smaller than that, win that half. Smaller than that, win those 3-4 minute periods. Smaller than that, win that possession. That's the focus. You can only control what's right in front of you.
You guys did a great job defensively tonight on Lofton and Asuni. Obviously, Lofton ended up with 15, but his looks were tough the whole night. I mean, what was kind of the game plan on those two going into the afternoon?
We just wanted to keep them out of the paint. I think they're incredibly dangerous when they get in the paint. When they're running their stuff and it's getting in the post, it's getting paint touches. They're incredibly dangerous. We wanted, honestly, Jaden Attaway and Dominic Welch were the guys we wanted to keep off of the 3. They got off 15 attempts. That's too many. But just trying our best to keep them out the paint and live with them taking contested jump shots as best we could.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.